was very great. These three friends came together, sat with him. When they look from afar, seeing the friend is there, looking at the appearance of his body, the Bible says they began to look to the heaven, began to cry. This is not the way this man has been. This is not how we know him. This man had everything in his life. He had all what a man can desire to have. But look at him the way he is. The Bible says everyone looked to the heaven and they cried so much. And the Bible says they remained to sit with him for 7 days and nights. Nobody went to his house. Nobody went to his house. They remained to sit with Job 7 days and nights, crying with him, looking up to heaven, crying before God. Looking at Job, seeing the issues, the things that this man is now going through. Let me read it again, this verse. Here very well. I'm starting verse 12 to 13. Hear very well. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they lent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads towards heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spoke a word unto him. For they saw that his grief was very great. 3 friends, when they came and see how Job has suffered, they looked at him. The Bible says they looked to heaven, began to cry. They removed their clothes, tear their clothes down. Dust, they covered dust on their head, crying before God. Why our friend is struggling like this? God, have mercy on him. They cried, and none of them went home. And all these friends were rich, were blessed people, the same way Job was blessed. When they came to him, seeing the situation, none of them went back home. None. And none of them spoke a word. They were all crying, looking to heaven, sympathizing with him, having compassion on the man, seeing him to say, this is not the way we know him. We don't know this man in this situation. He's the one, but he looks like not the one. He's a living person, living human being, but he looks rotten. Everything is finished in his life. Sores all over his body. They cried so much, and none of them went home. For 7 solid days, 7 days and nights. That's what the Bible says. They cried with Job. They comforted him, crying in his situation. Nobody began to judge, to say why things are like this. No. They came to cry, to comfort him. Nobody to judge, nobody to condemn. 3 friends, while the other friends left him, but these 3 stayed with him. How many are you who, when you see your friend or the person you know that this person used to help us and now is in a critical situation where things have turned bad in his life, you come close to him and comfort him, while others run away from him, but you go to that friend to comfort him. You suspend everything about you and say, no. If it's to die, let me die with him. Let me comfort him. How many of you does that? How many of you who say, we don't know this man like this? Yes, he's suffering now, but he has not been like this. Yes, he's struggling now, but he has not been like this. So the situation around him does not detect who he is. It is just the situation he's in. This man is not like this. We don't know him in this situation. We don't know him in this way. The situation around him has made him to be like this. Like a beggar. Like a sufferer. Like a one who has been rejected. But his life is not like this. How many of you does that?